Hi, I'm John Krauskoff, the Director of Technology and Innovation with the district. And today we have an interesting conversation. Peter Lamoureux, our district's Learning Technology Specialist. Peter and I are speaking with Juliana Tangretti and Stephanie Gilmartin, who've done some rather exciting work with their students. So, Juliana, you and Stephanie have created an invigorating classroom experience of project-based activities based on the work you were doing with students in the Teachers College Reading Writing Program. Mm-hmm. Could you tell us a little bit about what this project consisted of? And I know you worked on it as a team.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, please, if you could share that with us.
We asked our students to develop a website based on a topic that they were knowledgeable and passionate about. The TC program had them doing research and finding out all this information on this certain topic, and then it was going to be developed into some kind of book. So we thought it would be something different and decided to have them create a website.
So what did that process look like, moving from a book to a website?
So we connected the reading and the writing together, and we were looking in our nonfiction texts about the different types of text features that we see in nonfiction books, and see the different text structures like cause and effect, compare and contrast, sequential, problem and solution, and all of the different text features such as captions and subheadings and headings in those texts. And then we encourage them to now transfer their knowledge of what they find in books to their own writing, and using those text structures to explain their topic in a more creative, sophisticated way.
So this text-to-self relationship you're describing sounds rather complex.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess it led to a lot of fun based on the work that you've shared with the two of us.
Yeah.
We know that the students were very engaged with this and very excited about working in this medium. Would you care to walk through a couple of the projects with us?
Sure. All right. So we have one here. So it was a topic they were passionate about. So this student chose taking care of dogs and things to know about dogs. So they first just created their homepage, and then they have subheadings, which we gave them. Yeah, they have subtopics that they divided up their topic into, and then in each one, they did a page for each. So here she has compare and contrast, dry food versus wet food. So she's pulling in one of those text structures that we were looking for. And then they went through. Let's scroll.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like me to do that?
Oh, I got it. It's okay.
Okay.
So they added different things like pictures and videos to help show what they were working on and things like that.
And she included problem and solution text structure within her housebreaking subheading.
And then one of the big things we were looking for them to include was a glossary. So they had to show, because that was one of the big text features that we were working with. So they show that they have the bolded word throughout the text, and that leads them to a glossary later on. So we can pull up another one. We also asked them to make sure they elaborate very well on their different topics. That's one of the big things we're looking for in 5th grade in their writing, is their elaboration.
And we kept telling the children to explain their topic in a way that someone who doesn't know anything about the topic would be able to learn from the topic. So in this student's website, he focused on football. So I don't know much about football, so I kept encouraging him to elaborate in a way that I don't know much about football. How would I be able to understand about football after reading
And then
your
Peter
website?
showed them how to do the animated videos or the animated pictures on theirs, and a lot of the kids took that and put it in like all the time.
Wow.
And including the
Yeah. The little
The
captions to go
captions.
with the pictures and different things like that. So his positions, I think, he has all the different positions. So he liked to elaborate for us.
So that's actually a fairly comprehensive listing of the rules for football.
Mhm.
Then you have the illustrations of the field goal and the
Yeah.
different pieces. And all this, how does that, I'm engaged by it, just watching it. And but again, how does that tie back to the work they were doing? You started mentioning that they were doing the research and you're giving problem solution and these different pieces. How does that tie back specifically to Teachers College, to the work that you're doing with them?
So the work that we were doing in reading in Teachers College was
Nonfiction.
digging really deep into nonfiction texts and looking and finding those text features. And since nonfiction texts are pretty complex to read, we were encouraging them to use those text features to help them understand the text and looking to see how they can help them. So they were then using those text features to help the reader of their website understand their topic.
Their writing unit was about informational writing. So it was taking a nonfiction topic and writing as much as you know about that topic, doing the research to help you get more information about that topic. So we had them choose a topic they were passionate and knowledgeable about. So they already knew a lot of this information. But then doing the research, they gathered more information and were able to elaborate really on that information they already knew.
That's great.
Why don't we
So,
have him sit back down?
Sure, sure.
There we go. Thank you for sharing those
No
two
problem.
examples.
so, can you speak to how well the students adjusted to working in this medium as opposed to a traditional, writing in a book or a paper?
I've seen in the past that sometimes writing is a very difficult task for students, and they do find it very daunting to have notebook in front of them and have to include all of this information and really teach a reader about a topic. So I really saw the difference in having a computer in front of them. The motivation and the engagement was so much deeper and so much higher than a traditional method.
They liked being able to divide it up into the subtopics, and that way they were able to really like focus on one thing at a time, and it made it a little easier for them to be able to elaborate on all these different things that way.
And the subheadings also help them organize
Yes.
the information in a very concrete way.
So I imagine that although they're fifth graders, and I'm sure they've been using technology for a while, I'm sure that there was a learning curve, because what I'm looking at is fairly advanced. How did you go about teaching them how to make these websites?
All right, so I had literally asked you guys for help because I was going to use a different site, and then I made a little example, and the example I made was about one page with 3 pictures and 3 paragraphs of information, and I showed them how to insert the different things, and then I got them on computers and got them started, and they just took over.
So they knew what they had to do from the research part. They
Yes.
had done that already.
Mhm.
How long did it take them to create this?
About a week or so.
About
About a week.
And
Because they had a lot of the information, they had most of the information already in their notebooks written down and divided up into their subtopics. So all they really had to do was fill it in and find the pictures, and
they were really
Yeah.
eager to add those pictures and the videos and the different graphics to enhance their topics.
As you discussed, the new Google site format really makes it,
Yeah.
user-friendly, so,
Yes.
fifth graders can
Definitely.
just,
very user friendly.
yeah, pick up and go with it, and we often, don't utilize that full potential of our students, but, we let them go, and they really, take off with it, and as you
Yeah.
said, are very engaged with it. And,
They
we
were.
spoke about, adding the pictures and the videos and the animations, and, that really, as we discussed, isn't the focus of the work. We
Right.
really, we want to, that brings them in and hooks them, but, the writing is really the
Yeah.
key
Right.
piece of this, and the development and their
we-
development in that area is important.
We found it nice that even if like those kids who were struggling in their writing and trying to elaborate, if they did add that picture, they were then able to describe that picture, so it helped them to elaborate a little more than without them even realizing it. So it was definitely beneficial for us to see those kids who were struggling by just adding a picture could add more writing.
It's great.
Well, I've got to tell you, it's invigorating to see this. Peter and I have been very fortunate in being able to look through a number of these different student projects. I see that it says publish at the top, which means I guess it's not really live on the web. When will our audience be able to see some of the work that your students have really mastered?
So first we need to change the names that are on the websites and take the last names off the websites before we can make them published. But we look forward to doing that within the next few weeks.
So you'll take the last names off
Yes.
to remove any personal
Yeah.
identifiable?
Right, we don't want any
Yeah.
of that information.
Sure, fifth grade.
Well, it's
Yes.
published, it's
Yeah,
only in
definitely.
fifth grade.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important when the students are, publishing to an authentic audience and making them expecting that they're going to be live web pages. I think that really, also increases their level of investment in the project. It's not just you that's going to see it; it's that
Yeah.
anybody can see it.
They were excited
They-
about that. They kept asking us, "Can I hit the publish button?" I was like, "No, not yet. We need to make sure we take care of all of this stuff behind the scenes work first."
That's great.
Well, it's great because that is an important part. I mean, they are fifth grade students, the work they're doing, the research, and really the detailed level of the writing is impressive, but we want to make sure that it doesn't have the personally identifiable information,
Right,
particularly at that age. So I'd like to make a commitment to you. Peter and I will when you have this finished and the students have made their final revisions, even if that's removing their last name, we'd like to feature this on our district's website,
Great, that's great.
www.brewsterschools.org, which I'm sure you know.
I would love that.
Yes. that'd be great.
And really, we could talk about sharing that out and how the students might benefit even from some authentic feedback, if that's a path you want to take.
Sure, they would love
I'm sure
that.
they would too, yeah.
They would.
Great. Well, Peter, do you have any other last question or comment?
I just am, thank you both for championing this effort. I really think this is a great service to our students to bring them into this environment and to engage them in the process of writing more so than they would have been otherwise.
And I don't know if either of you know it, but I was a high school English teacher for 10 years. So when I see
Wow.
the focus on writing, the writing process, the research, Teachers College, and the fact that you put that front and center and yet use these technologies to engage the students in having something that goes beyond your classroom, I'm really impressed. So I need to let you know that.
Thank
It's
you.
good work. And thank you for taking the time to share this project with us.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming
Thank
in.
you for coming in and doing
This
it.
is wonderful.
All right. Juliana Tangretti and Stephanie Gilmartin, thank you.
Thank
you.